relatively easy sport to play, and it's super easy to watch, and it's a lot of fun. There's fewer times that we can think of. You can have a cocktail in your hand and be down at the beach. So
Over the Line, a tournament that has been played since the 1950s. A game created here in San Diego, Over the Line runs deep in the bloodlines of America's finest city. The tournament is home to rowdy competition and even rowdier fans. The World Championship usually takes place at Fiesta Island in Mission Bay in the middle of July. Unfortunately, however, the 67th tournament will not happen this year due to COVID-19. That's okay though. With a rich history, simple yet involving rules, and a heavy importance in San Diego, the annual Over the Line tournament is unlike anything you have ever seen before. Our interviewee is Mr. Tom Doyle, who's a fellow Saintsman. Mr. Doyle works for the Old Mission Bay Athletic Club, and he plays a key role in the planning of the event.
Alright, this is the Overline history. Over the Line is a bat and ball sport game related to baseball and softball. Like those games, you have the batter, the pitcher, and the fielders. Because the game requires only 3 people per team, it is considerably easier to get good informal game going. Gameplay, however, is very different. The name Over the Line is a registered trademark of the Old Mission Beach Athletic Club, OMBAC, of San Diego, California, which organizes an annual tournament that is one of the city's largest summer social events. It is also known as OTL, also trademarked by OMBAC. OMBAC allows other organizations to license the trademark for their own events for a nominal fee. Over the Line was the first played in Mission Beach, San Diego, California in the 1950s, and continues to thrive in the area. Here is a poster they used in 2001 for the Over the Line tournament. And here's what OTL looked like before. Before it was televised. And this is what it looked like. It is seen largely as a novelty game in the inland counties and debatably the beach counties as well, but still persists as a physical education activity at local high schools, and most visibly in the practice of an annual tournament held on Fiesta Island, by far the locale's most notorious activity, the annual OMBAC World Championship, or the Line Tournament. Organized by Old Mission Beach Athletic Club, is a prominent event in San Diego's beachport life. Now, the person that we interviewed, Tom Doyle, states the tournament dates back to when the original name of it was OMBAC Beach Rats. It all started with these couple guys were waiting for courts to play volleyball. To kill time, they decided to play Over the Line. And as people started to grew attention to them instead of volleyball, the courts grew and the tournaments grew. And it is related to the 1954 OMBAC. It started in 1954. It affects the community, and OMBAC is a beach club. Most of its members are Central San Diegan members. Okay, here is a clip from the interview that we used to support my evidence from the presentation.
Okay, Mr. Doyle. So we'd like to just hear a little bit about the tournament overall, just like what's the general history and just some things like that.
sure. The tournament itself actually dates back to when they called them the Ombac Beach Rats, which were the guys in the Ombac that played volleyball. When they were waiting for courts to play volleyball, and they developed the sport of Over the Line with a traditional softball wooden bat because they didn't have anything fancy back then.
Players per team. Substitutes allowed if player had not played for any other team. A replaced player may not re-enter the same game. He may play in subsequent games. The fielding positions. Fielders may play anywhere past the line or its extensions. At bat positions. Bat from home. Teammates pitches from anywhere in front of the line or its extensions. 1 foot of the batter must be behind the apex of the triangle. The apex of the triangle is right here where it says home. And the at bat positions can be the pitcher can be anywhere inside of this triangle, and the fielders can be anywhere behind the line right here. Hits. Ball hit into fair territory on the fly without being caught by fielders is a hit. Any ball touched and dropped by a fielder is a hit. Fielders crossing the line or its extensions when attempting to catch a ball is a hit. Home runs. Any ball hit past the last man in fair territory on the fly without him touching it, the ball only has to go past him, not necessarily over his head, is a home run. Outs and fouls. 2 foul balls is an out. 1 strike is an out. A fly ball is caught by fielders is an out. A ball hitting the line, lines that make up the pie, or landing in the pie is an out. Ball touched or dropped by the batter or pitcher. Foul tips that hit batter and land in foul territory are a foul. Batting out of turn is an out. Pitching or pitcher crossing the line after it hit the ball is an out. Using a disqualified bat is an out. Not having 1 foot in behind the apex of the triangle is an out. Fouls. Any ball landing outside of the pie or fair area or hitting the foul line is a foul. Any taken pitch is a foul. Any false pitch or balk is a foul. The length of game. On the first weekends of play, games will be 3 innings. On the second weekend of play, games will be 4 innings. The Overline Committee reserves the right to decrease the amount of innings played to facilitate the completion of tournament play in a timely manner. If tied at the end of regulation, 1 additional inning will be played to break the tie. If the game is still tied after that inning, play an additional inning. If still tied on runs after 2 additional innings, the team with the most hits wins. If teams are tied with the same runs and hits after 2 additional innings, play additional innings until either team breaks the tie with runs or hits. Runs take precedence in this situation. If at the end of any inning a team has an 11 or more run lead, the game is over. Scorekeeping. The winning team, all 3 members, will be the officials for the next game on the same court. Captain of the winning team will be responsible for keeping track of the game ball. Start the games within 5 minutes after the completion of the previous game. Any team not ready to play will forfeit. Any expectations will be to the discern of the over-the-line committee. 1 of the 3 players on the winning team shall turn in the scoreboard or scorecard to the announcer, stand in timely fashion, while the other 2 will keep score of the next game. Equipment. No gloves to be used for fielding except in women's division. Taping of hands and fingers permissible if no padding is used. Golf gloves may be used for batting. Only wooden official softball bats, maximum 2 1/4 in diameter allowed, or wooden official Little League bats, maximum 2 1/4 in diameter allowed. Any X bats or Louisville Luger, Chicago 16, or similar big barrel bats are not allowed. No baseball, oversized, or painted wooden bats allowed. Penalties for bat infractions shall be discerned of the over-the-line committee. Official over-the-line balls will be used. Balls will be furnished by the tournament directors. At no time may any players cross the side of the line or extensions to the other when catching or attempting to catch a hitting ball. To avoid penalty, you must make a definite stop before crossing the line. If you catch the ball and your momentum carries you into or across the line, it is a penalty.
The Mission Bay Over the Line tournament is so successful because it is a friendly, fun, and competitive environment at the bay. Like, who doesn't love the beach? It is also a great time to spend with your family and friends, all for free. It costs nothing to enter the tournament, and you get to spend the whole day at the beach. So, how the game spread? Over the Line originated and was created in San Diego. It started out local back 76 years ago, and they held the very first Mission Bay Over the Line tournament. However, now it attracts visitors from all different kinds of states around like the western part of the U.S. This is because like San Diego is like such a great vacation spot. Weather's perfect, and besides just like being there, there's a lot to do around San Diego since like San Diego's that great of a city. So there's like a great amount of people that attend this event every single year, since like San Diego has developed into one of the largest cities in California since like 1954 when the over the line tournament was open, and like many of the attendees are San Diego natives, but it is fit for everybody since the for the league there's like leagues for men and women and like all different skill levels. So you'll see a lot of different people, not just from San Diego, but like surrounding areas.
To what extent do you think the tournament affects local business in San Diego?
We're actually working on developing those numbers now. We're trying to get together with some of the other large special events in San Diego to approach city council and the mayor and then the incoming mayor to develop some form of a strategy to make sure special events are taken care of, because our event, we know we have 1,300 teams when we fill up to capacity. We could get more, but we don't want to go there yet. So we have 1,300 teams, which is 3,900 players. A good chunk come from the greater San Diego area, but we also have hundreds of teams that are coming from the Arizona area, LA, and they're spread all throughout the U.S. And even some people are deployed military members from San Diego who fly back from overseas to play in the tournament or just come out for the weekend to see the first weekend when it's a real party. So we're trying to develop the numbers we have, but we know, for example, the Bahia Hotel is very friendly to the club. They fill up.
I like the costs. The main focus of the event clearly isn't money. Like said before, it is free entry to the tournaments. However, there are stands and concessions on the side, which is probably how they make money. And for you. And the OMBAC main focus since the beginning has been to create a fun, carefree environment for all people to enjoy